Namaste for
Namaste.
today's get together and hangover with Govind Kumar from Kerala. He is here to enlighten us about the Kerala School of Astronomy and Mathematics. These are sciences embedded into these traditional schools that have been using these scientific formulas, findings, but it has been largely mistaken as esoteric or pseudoscience as astrology. But the science part of it is now slowly coming up in Vedic mathematics, being popular in Clinton's visit, highlighted recently, and now. All right, we got to cut the echo, and we are doing it now. All right. Our own broadcast echo is coming through, and we had to cut it out. Uh, just a minute, please. Hold on, and I'm cutting out the. All right, right. So we are ready. Uh, so I don't know where this echo is coming from. Maybe from the Pravada page. All right. So okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. That echo has been cut. Now we'll begin again. So we have with us here Govind Kumar, who is going to tell us about the interesting findings of the much neglected Indian sciences embedded in astrology and other so-called pseudosciences. But there is a wealth of information there. Mathematics, astronomical data, astronomical calculations, formulas, and similar things that his Kerala School of Astronomy and Mathematics have been digging, and we have been having him in our get-togethers in a series of hangovers to explain to us about these findings of Indian scientists of the traditional schools age over. Now to Govind Kumar. Welcome to our program, Govind Kumar.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. The Kerala School of Astronomy and Mathematics was
So how's the day?
initiated
How's the
by
day in Kerala today?
Madhava Sangrama Grama.
Yes,
And
go ahead, please.
yeah, there were many brilliant astronomers and mathematicians like Parameshwara, Nilakanda, Jeshtadeva, Shankaravar, Chitrabhanu, Achyuta Pisharadi, and Mahakavi Melpattur. The great Melpattur, the poet Melpattur, was the last link in KSAM, the Kerala School of Astronomy and Mathematics. It became dysfunctional after the era of Melpattur, and now we have to revive it actually, because there are mathematicians in Kerala, in India, and we have to revive KSAM. One book has been written in Malayalam, Ganitha Kerala. There are so many books on KSAM in English and other languages. It is time to revive this Kerala School of Astronomy and Mathematics.
That's good luck with you that, and it's a good work that you're doing here. Now, I believe that you have forwarded us some clippings and references. Maybe we should briefly go through them.
Yeah, I have written about the calculation of planetary longitudes in my website, astronosis.com. Astronosis.com.
All right. I believe you have sent us astronosis.com. Before
Yeah,
that, we would like to have, shall we have a look at the YouTube that you have made?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm G. Kumar on www.astronomy.com. Here we'll talk about differential equations and planetary noise. Many ancient cultures have contributed to the development of astrophysics. Some examples are the Saros cycle of eclipses discovered by the Egyptians, the classification of stars by the Greeks, sunspot observations by the Chinese, and the phenomenon of retrogression discovered by the Babylonians. In this context, the Indian contribution to astrophysics includes astronomy, mathematics, and astrology. The development of the idea
ഉള്ളി കേട്ടോ, അരമണിക്കൂർ. ആ, കുറച്ച് അരമണിക്കൂർ കഴിഞ്ഞ് വരുമോ? ഏ ഏ ആ കല്യാണം ആവാന്നാ? അപ്പം നടത്തിക്കോളൂ, നടത്തിക്കോളൂ, പ്രോബ്ലം ഇല്ല. ആ
So that was a very interesting bit of uh, clip that we saw here. So it looks like, Govindji, that our Indian astronomers, though we have not taken much notice of them, especially one you mentioned, that Surya Samhita, and the details that we saw in this clip.
Yeah, the Surya Siddhanta. In fact, there are about 18 Siddhantas like that. The Surya Siddhanta, the Pitamaha Siddhanta, Vyasa Siddhanta, Surya Pitamaha Vyaso Vasishto Atri Parashara. There's a slogan. Ashadashasteva Jyotish Shastra Pravarta. There are 18 Siddhantas. There are 18 Horas. There are 18 Samhitas. You know, astronomy, maths, and astrology is known in Sanskrit as Siddhanta, Samhita, and Hora. Astronomical knowledge is Siddhanta. Samhita is maths, and Hora is astrology. So they are different. Most of the masters, like intellectual colossus like Varahamihira and such people, and Parashara, they wrote on all the three subjects. Varahamihira, the intellectual colossus, wrote about Panja Siddhantika, about astronomy in his master treatise, the Panja Siddhantika. Hora as the Brihat Hora Shastra, which is what is known as Hora. And the other one, electional, this thing, Samhita, he wrote the Brihat Samhita. So a master always, the astrophysics master, he always writes about all the three branches of knowledge: astronomy, maths, and astrology, Siddhanta, Samhita, and Hora. So we have 18 Horas, 18 Siddhantas, and 18 Samhitas.
All right, then, what exactly kind of research findings that have already come out through your Kerala School of Astronomy?
See, in 1999, I developed my software, you know, and I use it. There are the major book on that was The Celestial Mechanics by Laplace. Laplace has written in 5 volumes, Mechanics Celeste, The Celestial Mechanics. Huge, the book was out of print, and my friend told me, one engineer, no, they have to study spherical astronomy and spherical trigonometry in engineering. So he told me he went to Adayar Library and in Trivandrum Library to get this Celestial Mechanics, 5 volumes. It was a reference book. He couldn't get it. He just copied it down and developed a software in Kochi. So, but then my friend, one Shankaranarayan, and he gave me this book called Ganita Nirnayam in Malayalam and Sanskrit. It was written by one Sanskrit scholar, Puliyur Purushottam and Namboodiripad, and it was translated by a maths professor, Professor Krishna Warrior. He was a professor of maths. In it, he has given about 40, 50 equations, great equations, trigonometric equations like sine C is equal to tan phi, tan delta, or sine J is equal to sine L, sine W. Such equations he had given, and based on that major work, this Ganita Nirnaya is a conglomeration of 18 Siddhantas. One should say it is the quintessence of all the 18 Siddhantas, because Puliyur Purushottam and Namburi was a master of Siddhantas. He had studied Surya Siddhanta, Pitama Siddhanta, Vyasa Siddhanta, all in detail. He was a Sanskrit scholar, but he didn't know English. So his disciple, Professor Krishna Warrior, translated all that into Malayalam and English, and he gave equations. And based on those equations, I developed my software. I couldn't get celestial mechanics.
Very interesting developments that you've been talking about. And there are three things here. You mentioned about Hora. So what was the Indian understanding of time? It seems
the Indian concept of time, the Indian concept of time.
Hang on, let me complete.
Yeah, okay.
It seems that the Indians had a clear concept of time ahead of the rest of the world and the contemporary ancient and medieval world. So what exactly was the Indian findings regarding time as a concept? That is a very interesting concept there. And was it actually as sophisticated as our modern understanding of time? Because time is very little understood phenomenon in physics.
Yeah, that is true. But it was the Indians who first calculated time. You know, it is known as Kala Nirnaya. 1 degree of longitude is equal to 4 minutes. See, it starts from Asus. In Sanskrit, Asu means prana. Asu means 4 seconds. Asu means 4 seconds. 24 such seconds, 24 seconds, 6 into 4 Asus is called a Vinadi or Vinadiga. 60 such Vinadis or Vinadiga constitute a Nadi or a Nadiga. 60 such Nadigas or Nadis constitute a day. And a day is made up of 24 horas. See, the English word hour is a malpronunciation of the Sanskrit word hora. Ardha Rashi Bhavet. They said the zodiac, let it be sidereal zodiac or the tropical zodiac, is a circle of 360 degrees. 360 degrees. And 15 degrees is equal to 1 hour. That is the concept of time. That is Ardha Rashi Bhavet Hora. Hora means 1 hour is equal to Ardha Rashi. Rashi means 30 degrees. Ardha Rashi means 15 degrees. 15 degrees is equal to 1 hour. So we have 360 degrees. We have 12 constellations of the zodiac. And so we have 12 into 2, 24 horas. A day is made up of 24 horas. Ardha Rashi Bhavet Hora. Chadurvimshati Spradaha. Chadurvimshati means 24. There are 24 horas. So, and from Asu, we have come to the calculation of a day. 365.525 days constitute a year. 30 months, 30 days constitute a month. 2 such months constitute a Ritu. There are 6 Ritus or seasons according to the Indian calendar. Tau Dau Ritu. Then we have 6 months, it's known as an Ayana. Shadmasa Ayanam Bhavati. We have two types of Ayana, Dakshinayana and Uttarayana, the northern solstice and the southern solstice. That Uttaram Dakshinam Cha. 15 days make one Paksha or fortnight. We have 2 fortnights, that Shuklam Krishnasya, Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha, the waxing moon fortnight and the waning moon fortnight. See, this the reference is Bhagavata. You will find these equations in the Bhagavata. Shanmasa Ainam Bhavati, Dwadasha Masa Valsara Smrita, 12 months make an year. There are many types of years. We will talk about the solar year, which is 365.25 years. And then we have the concept of aeons or yugas or cosmological cycles and equinoctial cycles. See, 43 lakhs 20,000 years is one Kali Yuga. And
well, that is something also Carl Sagan has brought out in his book Cosmos.
Yeah. Hindus are calculating billions, he said.
It's something like, the Hindus are the only people who actually ever knew that time could be in terms of millions and billions of years.
Yeah.
while all that the rest of the world and the contemporary ancients could
Yeah,
think
yeah,
of.
I'm talking about that. Carl
Tell
Sagan imbibed these ideas from Vedic astronomy, and he said it's one of the greatest. He said, see, when the Christians were calculating in thousands, Hindus were calculating in trillions. That is, we have 2008 cycles, 2 million age cycles constitute a cosmological cycle of 4.32 billion years. It is one Brahma day, and one Brahma night is again 4.32 billion years. That is why he said, while the rest of the world were calculating in thousands, Hindus were calculating in billions and trillions. And so we have one Brahma cycle, which is 100 years of Brahma. See, that will be 311.04 trillion years. Trillion, 311 trillion years. I had given a video about the 311 year
Yes, you have done.
trillion.
Hold on there. Hold on, Govindji, and let us avoid some cross-talking here when actually
Okay, okay,
uh,
okay.
the audience could hear clearly one at a time. And well, yes, you have sent us something regarding the
311 cycle, year cycle.
right. You have sent us something regarding time. Yes, a YouTube clipping regarding time. So let us have a look at it. Are you
Anji
able to
Kumar
get
on
the volume?
Yeah, 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 okay.
Astrovedica. We find you guys.
So it says Kali Yuga began on the midnight of 17th February BCE, February 3102. And the duration of this Kali Yuga is said to be 4.32 K solar years. Is that right?
Yeah, that is true.
All right. Let me mute my mic so that the audience. So that was actually a very good YouTube clipping that you have prepared there, and it gives
Thanks.
you almost the accurate tally. It tallies with the modern physics estimation, the age of our Earth. I believe it's somewhere around 4.2 billion years.
Yeah, yeah, yes. The Big Bang Theory, yes.
Wait a second, hold on there, Govind. And not only does it tally with the age of the Earth, it also seems to tally with the age of the cosmos. I believe by the latest calculations, it comes somewhere around very close to, and Carl Sagan also has confirmed that only the Hindu calculation of the age of the universe seems anywhere close to that of the modern dating of the cosmic age, and that is remarkable. One wonders how they were able to, actually grasp these things with the absence of many things that modern science has, like atomic clocks and radiocarbon, radio dating, and such things. How did they know that? That is one thing.
There is a
Hold
rationale
on.
behind it.
Even let me finish the
Ah,
question,
okay,
and
okay.
we
Go ahead.
discuss. I will give the mic to you. And after that, this is about first the estimation of the age of the Earth as a planet, which comes to a perfect match with modern science, which is that of 4.32 billion years. And then you have the estimation of the age of the cosmos. That too comes remarkably close to what the modern scientists have actually now revised as the age of the cosmos, somewhere in the region 17 billion years, 14 to 17 billion years. And the next thing is the speed of light. I hear that somewhere I saw one of your calculations that during the division of time itself, they arrive at the perfect figure that fits in the speed of light, which is 186,000 kilometers per second. How did these people ever get to know these kind of scientific facts in the absence of those equipments that made it possible for modern scientists to know?
Yeah, yeah.
Govind
There
Kumar?
is a theory behind it. The Vedas were never written. The Vedas were never written. They were cognized in higher states of consciousness, in cosmic consciousness and above. So the Veda, by Vedas, no books are meant. We don't mean any books by Vedas. A rishi goes into deep transcendental meditation. He contacts his inner self, the bliss consciousness, and then he gets intuitions and revelations from the absolute self. So he does not depend on any mundane equipments or
Well,
scientific.
hold on there. Hold on there, Govind. I need to get a clarification there. But you say you look at it like as it's a revealed or revelations and things like that. But we clearly see that there are calculations behind it. It is not as though somebody gave them this is the age of the cosmos. You take it from me. It is like I can see the calculations. Wait a minute. I specifically show to you the remarkable thing from your website. By the way, we should mention that Govind Kumar runs a plethora of interesting websites and blogs. Particularly, it ranges from mathematics, astronomy, to temples, tourism, Guruvayur, temple.com, so on. So in one of these, he actually deals with the calculus, which is really fascinated my thing. Govind, shall we have a look at what you have sent regarding your calculus? That
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. Go
the
ahead, go ahead.
Indian calculus system. We'll have a look at it.
Yeah, the Kerala. Oh, yeah, okay.
All right. Here we have the calculus, um, which is it is a YouTube clip, and let's have a look at it. So how it's really fascinating that not only their calculation of the age of the universe was accurate, but also that one wonders how they first knew this. Though there are clear calculations involved in it, it is not like as though somebody gave them these things, some flying astronaut or whatever. They had clear science. So that was a very remarkable YouTube clip that you have made there. It deals with the Indian knowledge of the solar system. To the extent I noticed that they knew about the planets as we knew it, and as well as they were able to calculate time and divide it to the point where they were able to, calculate the speed of light, which I noted in one of your treatises. Now, can you please tell us about the Surya Samhita? That is this text of Surya Samhita, the solar science and the planetary sciences. Uh, can you please tell us something about the Surya Samhita?
Yeah. The Surya Siddhanta was written by a rishi called Lata Deva. It was written by Lata Deva, and Surya Siddhanta is one of the greatest treatises of the amongst the 18 Siddhantas, and it deals with the planetary calculations. See, the Western method is to find out the true longitude of the planet. You have to use trigonometric corrections, and the Western method is this: theta is equal to v plus w. Theta means the longitude of the planet, v is the true anomaly of the planet, and w is the argument of perihelion. So that is the Western method. Then once they find out the true anomaly of the planet, they convert it into Cartesian coordinates, x, y, and z, the rectangular coordinates, Cartesian, three-dimensional Cartesian coordinates, x, y, and z, and then they convert it into spherical coordinates, r, theta, and phi, where r is radius, theta is latitude, and phi is longitude. They have equations for those. And the Indian method of finding out the longitudes of the planets, the Grihasputa Ganita, that which is followed in the Panjangas, the Indian method is based on Surya Siddhanta or the 18 Siddhantas. Actually, the 18 Siddhantas condensed is what I call the Ganita Nirnaya, one of the greatest books on mathematical astronomy written by Professor Krishna Warrior and Puliyur Purushottam and Naburi. Now the Indian method is totally different. The Indian method is the longitude corrected thrice method. The longitude, the mean longitude of the planet is corrected thrice. The mean longitude of the planet is known as Graha Madhyamam. And it is reduced first. The first method is to reduce it to the heliocentric coordinate system. It is known in Sanskrit as Mandakriya. And mind you, this is the method followed by all Panchang makers, almanac makers, all ephemeris makers, the Panjangas, those who give the planetary longitudes. They do not use the Western method, they use the Indian method. And this is the first method in the Indian reduction of the three trigonometric corrections or reductions. First is to reduce it to the heliocentric coordinate system known as Mandakriya. Second is to bring that planet into the ecliptic circle, reduction to the ecliptic coordinate system. And the third is the reduction to the geocentric coordinate system. The first is known as Mandakriya, second is known as Parinati Kriya, and the third is known as Shighra Kriya. So after these three trigonometric corrections, we find out the true longitude of the planet from Graha Madhyamam, the mean longitude of the planet. And you'll find all Panchang makers use this formula and not the Western.
Wait a minute. This is about location and navigation. It comes into navigation.
Yeah, it is the longitude of the planet. Where the planet? When I was born, my Jupiter was at 8 degree 47 minutes Cancer. 47 minutes Cancer. My Saturn was 21 degrees 52 minutes Libra.
Now, one interesting thing you mentioned about Surya Samhita is that you're talking about heliocentricity. So it is interesting that the Europeans did not know that, the church standoff with Copernicus and, they did not know about this fact that actually the Earth moves around the sun and that the sun is at the center of the solar system.
Yeah. Ptolemaic universe was geocentric, whereas the Copernican universe heliocentric.
Isn't it?
Yeah. The earlier method was Ptolemaic universe. By Ptolemy, it was geocentric. But see, there is a rationale for geocentric. Nobody can go to the sun, put on a bench, and then view it from there. So heliocentric means it is physically impossible to view planets from the sun. So there is a need for a geocentric system. Because see, we are on Earth. We have to see it from the Earth's angle. So by sun we mean the Earth in reflex. It is the Earth which revolves around the sun. Everybody knows. And but by sun we say the sun is in 3 degrees Gemini, means we mean the Earth in reflex. So the heliocentric system. So there was another guy called Tycho Brahe. He proposed a helio-geo model. A helio-geo model means it incorporates both the heliocentric and the geocentric systems. And in Kerala, it was written. It was same model was proposed by Nilakanta Somayaji, helio-geo model. So the earlier the Copernican universe is heliocentric, whereas the Ptolemaic universe is geocentric. But we are on Earth and we are observing it from the Earth. Hence the reduction to reduce it to geocentric. Actually, the movement of the planets is heliocentric.
But the Indians did know about it, and they have written elaborately.
Yes, yes, yes. It is said Surya na astamedina udedi in the Sadapada Brahmana, meaning that sun never rises nor sets.
Well, what kind of research is now, supported there in this institute? There seems to be so much of information locked up there. Yesterday, I asked you a question about the contemporary relevance, leave alone the past, and making out how much actually Indian scientists knew is a task in itself. But what I'm talking about here is maybe there are some hidden knowledge, hidden facts that could be helpful even in the context. I refer to Tata Institutes taking the Vimana Sastra, the ion propulsion engine, which is now being looked at for anti-gravity purposes, and there are reports that Tata Institute has taken up the study of gravity and ion propulsion engine. Similarly, towards gravity-defying anti-gravity machine, and China too has taken up the Vimana Sastra seriously, and they are working on it. Now, do you think there may be some scientific hidden mysteries in these texts?
Yeah, there are scientific mysteries. Obviously, there are. Indian philosophy means it is scientifically rich, And I have seen videos of this ion propulsion and all that. Maharshi Bharadwaja's aeronautics. Bharadwaja was the rishi who talked about aeronautics and Vimana Shastra. And Tata and India and China are now taking up the research.
Yes, and I want to ask you one last question before we wind up. Did the Indians, the ancient Indians, knew about exoplanets, that is, planetary systems in other worlds?
I know. Yeah, about extraterrestrial intelligence.
Govindji, we must avoid cross-talking.
Okay.
Were there other planetary systems? They are making out about 1,000 exoplanets. These were known only after Kepler and space telescopes came about and things like that. But have you come across any references of exoplanets, other planetary systems around other suns? The scientific knowledge right now updated. Before they thought planetary systems are unique to solar system. Now, to their surprise, it has been made out that planets are even more common than stars are, and so which means that almost every star has a complete system of planets around it. Now, have you come across anything like that where it suggests that our Indian scientists knew that there are exoplanets, that other planetary systems are there? Here's one question. Hold on there. The second question, part of this question is, did they know or talk about any extraterrestrial life?
No. By going through the books of Bering von Daniken, and there was another guy, I forgot his name. He also writes about exobiology or extraterrestrial intelligence and exoplanets. And Gary somebody, I think. I forgot his name. Anyway, Eric van Daniken says the ancient Indian...
Van Daniken is not a scientist as such, but he's not taken seriously. It is different. But I'm asking about our Indian... Have you come across, all these texts so much? Are there any mention of exoplanets, extraterrestrial life mentioned? At least can you tell us clearly, at least this much, that have you come across any mention of the existence of other planets around other suns, and that We are just one among the myriad stellar
No,
system.
no clear evidence as such. No clear
Uh,
evidence as such. We have to have a clear proof to say that we don't have such. But then Indian philosophy does talk about 14 parallel universes.
but I
14
clearly did
universes.
come across many of the Puranas says there are as many worlds as Earth or the other beings
Yeah,
and so on. This is a common
yeah,
reference.
the Puranas do talk about multiverses. The universes, multiverses,
So even
and
worlds,
14 parallel
yeah, I
universes.
come across some of these texts talking about other worlds and even subplots in Mahabharata and epics like that. You find visitations from other planets, the world of the Gandharvas, the world of the other planets.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
would
yeah.
clearly suggest that they knew that
That's
other
it.
planets.
All Indian
That
philosophy.
other planets are habited, could be habited, could have civilizations is clearly referred to in the Puranas. But what I'm talking about is in the serious texts, that is science texts like Surya Samhita and all that, is there any inkling that they knew about exoplanets? Not that you're aware of.
No. The Indian philosophy do talk about parallel universes, multiverses,
Uh-huh.
interpenetrating realms. I mean, the gross subtle physical and the subtle physical universe are more or less the same thing. The gross subtle universe, the astral universe is just like this physical universe. Only thing it is made up of etheric. Gross subtle universe, the gross subtle, the subtle physical universe, which is the most, which is our most proximate elsewhere, which borders our physical universe. So the death is defined as the severance of the silver cord from the gross physical body, and the subtle physical body floats off into the astral universe, into the subtle physical universe, and that is how it is explained in the Indian philosophy. So there are parallel universes, multiverses, interpenetrating realms, interpenetrating universes. That's all we have. 14 Adalam, Vitalam, Sudalam, Mahadalam, Padalam, and all that. They have given
Yeah,
names for the
there are
14 parallel
gradations of
universes.
existence and all that in general mentioned. But I think I've come across some references to exoplanets and that habitable planets are
Okay,
there.
can you send that link to me? I will check it up. I will do research. I will check it up.
All right. But that is one thing. You're now brought in a new, new kind of a reference to the quantum physics and the parallel worlds, parallel universes, and all, which is a realm that fascinates the science fiction writers, just as me, like me, and
No,
some.
multiverses are true. Our universe is not the only one. There are multiverses.
All right. Now hold on. Govind Kumar. There is also. I wanted to know about this relativity of time and space. Specifically speaking, there is one episode in Bhagavatam where it says it's in the Puranas, of course, that it says that one of these people visited Brahma to consult with something, and there is some time lapsed, like just 30 minutes, like our hangover. He hung out with Brahma, and as a result, when he returned, he found that he has come to the future. All those people he knew, they're all long dead. And then this is a peculiar story that is related in that, which talks about relativity. He has obviously traveled to Brahma's abode, which is somewhere located, yeah, definitely located in space, and this has required some travel at near speed of light. And when he comes back, he actually, this story tells that there has been what you call many centuries that has gone, and all those people that he knew are become old. That's a very
Yeah.
interesting
The Indian
story,
philosophy does
story.
talk about divine years, or divine years.
Uh,
Indian
uh,
philosophy talks about divine years. 360 human years is equal to one divine year.
all right. Yes,
So
yes,
that,
yes. That is what I'm saying. It seems
yeah,
like he
that is it.
spent
That's the
1 hour,
answer to that.
and yeah, yeah. In that story, he just spent 1 hour or so with Brahma, and unfortunately for him, centuries have passed back here at home.
Maybe 1,000 years had elapsed on Earth.
Yeah, but there seems to be some time lapse there. It's much to do with
Yeah.
the travel,
Time is again
the
relative,
travel to the
Time is
Brahma
again
all that.
relative. Suppose we are on Jupiter, it's some other time.
Relativity is definitely mentioned there, isn't it? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah.
All right. And now let us look at the last aspect of our Going's links today in our series of talks with Govind Kumar, trying to bring out the wealth of knowledge in our Indian text, Indian traditional Indian scientific text, Indian astronomical and mathematical text. Probably, I think it's time up for today's show, and he has sent us one more link. Let us have a look at it. Govind Kumar, I think you have given us a link on calculus, is it?
Yeah, calculus, right.
All right. So let us see what he has given us regarding calculus today. So this is the YouTube link you have sent us regarding calculus, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Now you have sent us earlier. Wait a minute. You have sent us regarding astronomy. Well, uh, all right. Here you say that calculus
Yeah.
is India's gift to Europe. Govindji,
Yeah, that's true.
it says the Jesuits took trigonometric tables and planetary models from the Kerala School of Astronomy and Maths. Can you please tell us about that, Govindji?
Yeah. The this calculus was discovered by the Kerala astronomers and mathematicians about
Uh-huh.
600 years before Leibniz. Before
All right.
Leibniz.
All right.
Okay, and the Jesuit priests, they came to Cochin, to
Ah.
Kerala, and learned about these
Mm-hmm.
and exported it to Europe and took it to Europe. And we had given the complete statistic. We had given the this thing of the book, the culture, the excerpts from the book, The Cultural Foundations of Mathematics by Dr. C.K. Raju, one of the leading lights behind Param, the Indian supercomputer. The calculus, the infinitesimal calculus, how and why it was imported into Europe.
This is one line of thinking among Indians that, but there is definitely they have enough factual basis to claim that the Renaissance, the renewal of scientific knowledge after the dark ages of Christianity in Europe, following Copernicus and others, and they came out of that geocentric model and started. There was a great renaissance of science, and much of it is owed to India, no doubt about that. But here it says that even Newton was influenced by the mathematical knowledge that was flowing from India, and infinitesimal calculus, how and why it was imported in India. In this letter by C.K. Raju, he is talking about the Taylor series expansion. Anything on that, Govindji?
Yeah. The sine series, the cosine series, and arctangent series. It is already there. I've given it on my website, astronomy.com. It was given by Madhava, and it was known as the Madhava Taylor series, the Madhava Grigori series, and the Madhava Newton series. Now they have changed it in Wikipedia. They have given the credit to Madhava. But then these texts of Madhava, Parameshwara, Jeshtadeva, and the Kerala mathematicians predate Newton and Leibniz by 600 years. It is brought out by C.K. not only by Dr. C.K. Raju, but also by Dr. C.J. Joseph in his book, The Crest of the Peacock, The Non-European Roots of Mathematics, and Dr. C.K. Raju's book, The Cultural Foundations of Mathematics.
The Taylor series. What is the Taylor
The
series?
Taylor series, that is the infinite series. Infinite sine series. So we have the infinite sine series, the infinite cosine series. We have the infinite pi series, pi by 4, and we have the infinite arctangent series, arctan series. And these have been now, it was attributed to the Western mathematicians Grigori, Taylor, and Newton. But now Wikipedia changed it. They have made it the Madhava Grigori series, the Madhava Taylor series, and the Madhava Newton series. So we have given it. All these articles have been given on my website, astronomy.com. That in mathematics and astronomy preceded the Western. Indian maths preceded Leibniz and Newton by 600 years, endorsed by Dr. C.K. Raju and Dr. C.J. Joseph in their books respectively.
Gunji, you are talking there about Rishi in a 1581 letter.
Yeah.
Ricky
Matthew Ricky, yeah.
explicitly acknowledged that he was trying to understand the local methods of timekeeping, that is Jyotisa, from the Brahmins and moves in the vicinity of Cochin. That is interesting,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah, because this timekeeping Panchanga, I talked about the threefold longitudinal correction method of Indian astronomy, and this is how the Panjangas are kept. These are, see, the traditional writers, Subbarayanam, Dr. Subbarayanam, Krishnan Gutti Guptan, and others who make these Panjangas. You know, the Guruvayur, the Panjanga is done, the Yoga Kshema Panjanga is done. Who does it? The Indian Kerala mathematicians based on the KSM algorithms, and not the Western, not Laplace, not Kepler, but the Kerala School of Astronomy and Maths algorithms. They use it. They use the threefold longitudinal correction method. They don't use the Western theta is equal to v plus w and then change it, then convert it into Cartesian coordinates, and then they convert into spherical coordinates. They don't do that. They use the Indian method. You can come to Kerala, watch how the Panjangas are done, and you'll find out that what I'm saying is absolutely 100% true. They don't
Oh,
use
all
the
right.
Western method at all.
Govinji, just a minute. And you are also saying that something about the loxodromes. The loxodromes, what actually,
Loxodromes
like,
are there, see, latitude in 13 degrees latitude. There are certain points which meet, and they are useful in navigation. Longitude, latitude, and loxodrome. 3 Ls, they were vexing the Westerners, and they couldn't solve it because they didn't have the proper sign computation. And then at that time, Indians had the knowledge of trigonometry, geometry. See, trigonometry is derived from the Sanskrit trigonometry. Trigno in Greek, trigno means triangle. Trigonometry means measure. Measure of a triangle is called trigonometry. In Sanskrit, three is three itself. Trigonometry. Trigona means triangle. Or it means measure. Same. The trigonometry and trigonometry are same. And trigonometry derived from the Sanskrit trigonometry, and geometry derived from the Sanskrit geometry. You can check Jya, Utkram Jya, and Koti Jya. You check on in Wikipedia, they see the origin of the word sign is from the Sanskrit word Jya. It was wrongly translated by the Arabs as Jiba and Kojiba, and it was wrongly translated by the Latinists as sinus and cosinus, because it meant bay or something. They wrongly translated it, and the sinus and cosinus became sine and cosine in English, and it spread. It went from India, it traveled through many Arab countries, and finally it went into Latin and English as sine and cosine. This is
all right,
proved by
all right.
Wikipedia.
Govindrat, so you are also saying that the Indo-Arabic navigational technique is what also led to the ultimate discovery of the chronometer.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Then, so with that, we have had an interesting discussion today with our Govindraj, who is a part of the Kerala School of Astronomy and Mathematics, traditional scientific academy. And thanks for joining us. We will continue with this discussion in our coming series of hangouts with you. And we thank you, and we expect that you bring us more of such interesting information about our Indian scientists and Indian sciences. Thanks for
Okay,
joining us,
okay.
Govindra.
Okay, thank you. Right.